Do we need another Battle Royale game? Maybe. Just before we start, you guys, I would like to apologize for my appearance. I have been very unwell this week, and I continue to be very unwell. But with the arrival of Apex Legends, I feel like there's material here to make a video, and I definitely want to get my thoughts and opinions about the game out there. But just before we start talking about that, I would like to say that I am also currently working on a re-review for Star Wars Battlefront 2. And I want to make sure I get that finished before Anakin arrives and the new game mode arrives, so people don't just think, oh, he's given the game all this new praise because they've added his favorite character. No. I'm giving the game a re-review because it's a completely different game. And I need to make sure that my review is current and up to date, which is something I'm prepared to do with all games. Another game I'm looking at re-reviewing is Sea of Thieves, another game that has come leaps and bounds from where it started. But today, we're here to take a look at Apex Legends. Now, I am a massive fan of Respawn Entertainment. I think that they are magnificent orchestrators of good, fast, first-person shooting gameplay. And I thought when I heard that this was going to be a thing that it might have been something kind of cheap, something kind of pointless, but then I thought it's Respawn, and Respawn are capable of many great things when it comes to game design. The two Titanfall games, in my opinion, are among some of the most fun first-person shooters that I've ever played. And my only regret about Titanfall 2 is that it came out when it was so hard to fill the servers because two other massive franchises were also on the scene at the same time. And I believe that that's a cannibalization on the part of EA regarding the success it wanted for Battlefield 1, and Titanfall paid the price, and possibly ended the chance of there ever being a Titanfall 3. Or so I thought. Rumor has it that this will actually be there to help create interest in a Titanfall 3, so watch this space. But first and foremost, what is Apex Legends? Well, it's a Battle Royale game, essentially, but one that definitely takes more than a few liberties with the main formula. Of course, you still drop out of the sky and you're trying to conquer everybody and be the last man standing or the last team standing. That's still pretty standard fare, but there's an emphasis on team play that I have to say I'm really impressed by. There are many things you can do to interact with your teammates, such as calling things out, which is something that I first saw, I think, properly done in Black Ops 4, but done better in this one, where your character has actually got voice dialogue for calling out items and their rarity for your teammates, and even calling out things that you're looking for so that your teammates know what to look out for you. And I think that's a great addition to an already pretty established formula. But it doesn't stop there. The gameplay also seems to operate as if it is the result of a love child between Titanfall and Black Ops 4 getting together with a love child of Overwatch and Borderlands, and those two creating a baby that is in fact this game. And I have to say, it is very, very impressive how much personality just leaps off the screen when you're playing this game. There's more than a hint of Overwatch, but there's also more than a hint of Titanfall. And that's good because this actually takes place in the Titanfall universe. Just looking at the surrounding architecture, the surrounding beasts and creatures, and of course the weapons, which are taken straight out of Titanfall 2. And one of the things that Titanfall 2 offered at the time to try and get people to stay around longer and play longer was a plethora of different skins to unlock for your guns. And those are here, but you also are unlocking quips, which are fun little pieces of dialogue that your character will say when you kill someone, or you can unlock special finishing moves, which is this new thing where if you down someone and you're feeling brave, you can walk up to them and press X to perform a very graphic and somewhat humorous finisher move, which can be either kind, as in there's a character who will give you a guard of honor sort of death, and there's other characters who will just basically do a pose in front of you before whacking you on the head with a stick. Which of course brings us to the class system. One of the things that's going to set this apart from other Battle Royale games is the class system. You're dropping down as Overwatch characters, basically, with special abilities and perks. For instance, there's a healer with a healer drone that can attach itself to you and your teammates when you're low on health. Other characters can do things like phase in and out of reality or spread poisonous, toxic traps all over the place for people to walk into. There's a lot of variety here, and based on the character selection screen, there's going to be a lot of characters in the future if this game generates the support that I think it might. Which of course brings us to microtransactions, and yes, there are lots of them, but they aren't game-breaking. This is not a game that will be pay to win. You benefit nothing from spending money except to support the fact that this is, at its core, a free-to-play game. And that can't be overlooked, because if you think about it, PUBG and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 are both full-price games that you have to pay for the privilege of playing these games in Battle Royale mode. And this game is free, like Fortnite, but also like Fortnite offers up a plethora of cosmetics and attachments and basically things to make you look pretty on the battlefield, which, to its credit, is something that I've always admired about Fortnite. It could so easily, with its popularity, just rake in the dollars by adding things that are pay content only, and still it remains cosmetic only, and I have to respect that. Movement isn't quite Titanfall 2, but you are very, very fast. And you can do things like holster your weapons to run quicker, which is something that a lot of other Battle Royale games do as well. But with the Titanfall motif, it fits even better. Let's talk about gear. Obviously, shields are a standard, and the ability to recharge shields and heal yourself in bits and pieces all over, but there's also specialized pieces of equipment that can only go with other types of guns to improve their headshot damage or improve their spin cooldown, and lots of little fun pieces like this to keep an eye out for, which keeps you always guessing and always searching, and every building you find you want to loot, even when you think you're walking around with more than enough to win. But top level loot is no guarantee of winning. I myself have already picked up a couple wins with my friends, one which I almost ended up doing single-handedly at the end because it was just carnage and everybody was around me and I was just trying my best not to die and wielding pretty standard gear, and I managed to pull out a win because the game is quite balanced. Some characters are a little bit harder to kill than others, and it's always a little bit annoying when you go to finish somebody who has a death protection shield over them, which is another thing you can pick up. And just like every other piece of equipment except for the actual guns, they have a rarity, and so if you find someone with a legendary or epic shield on them when you're trying to down them, it might be difficult to finish them off, and you may get killed off while trying to finish them off, which is a very interesting new element to the gameplay, which adds tactical awareness to the whole thing. It's no longer, oh, I've downed someone, let's rush and finish him. You don't know if you're going to be able to, and if you are, how much of your ammunition it will take to actually do it. The whole game is set up like a Hunger Games type of thing, where you have your champions listed at all times, the top level players displayed on banners around the map, which is always really cool to see, and it's always announcing when there's a new kill leader, and a previously designated champion who you can kill, and it will tell you you've killed the former champion, and it'll even give you a points bonus, which of course brings me to what you're working towards. Credits and points come from leveling up, and of course you can buy this stuff with real money if you're feeling impatient, but you can also be patient, earn it, and then most intriguingly, hand-pick the things you want to unlock by saving up for them specifically. Always a good feature, I love that. But what about the gunplay itself? Well, as you would expect from Respawn, it's tight, responsive, and very, very fast. This doesn't have as many different weapons as you see in some other Battle Royale games, but what it has is very effective, and there are just enough variations of each type of weapon for you to run around and really try and find the thing that suits you best. Sure, it may be good to try and find a sniper, but if you yourself are not a particularly good sniper, it's not going to do you much good. Whereas I find in other games, such as Fortnite, being a good sniper is irrelevant. If you can hit them with a gold level sniper, you can down them, and that's just the way it is. There's a lot of other things to go over, but the important, crucial thing in my review here is that I'm telling you this game works. I do occasionally get kicked to the main menu, but that's when trying to load into a game rather than playing a game, and I find that not as terrible as when you get kicked out of a game in session. And it's all these fun little touches and these quirky things that the characters like to say, and the way they interact with each other, and the way they'll say things like, oh, the kill leader's dead, they were weak. Things like that just add so much fun, zest, and an original personality to this game. And I can't tell you how much the Battle Royale genre is overstaying its welcome, but this is a breath of fresh air, and I do recommend you guys play it. I think it's a lot of fun. I think the fact that it's free, yet still functions as well as a paid game is not something to be overlooked. Do I think it's going to be bigger than Fortnite? Probably not, but at this point in time, I think it's better than Fortnite. I think it's a better planned game, I think it's a better executed game, and honestly, I think it's the Battle Royale I'll be turning to in the future. Of course, I'll still dabble with Call of Duty's Blackout, but I do think this is the Battle Royale where I think the most fun is to be had. That's just my personal opinion. What do you guys think of Apex Legends? Have you tried it yet? Are you skipping it? Are you done with Battle Royale? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, tear that like button limb from limb, and if you want to be among the first to be notified of new content on the channel, go ahead and slam that subscribe button and ring the bell, and I will see you guys next time.